Mike Huckabee. And Governor Huckabee often joins me during the daytime on Outnumbered Overtime, and we talk about the tough nature of things and where we are in this country and how we go forward. Governor, how do we put out the fires, the intensity, not the ones on the ground, but in people's hearts right now? What needs to be done?
Harris, let me be the contrarian. I think sometimes we show so much of the bad. We show so many hours of the riots and the horrible things that are happening in our streets. And we're not showing that today in Minneapolis, there were hundreds of Minneapolis citizens out there cleaning up. They weren't being paid to do it.
Yes.
This was their neighborhood. There were white and black people working alongside each other. This has gone beyond about a race. This is where black people have a right to be angry at what happened to George Flynn. But I don't know of a single white person in this country who isn't nauseated by what happened to this man when he was murdered by a police officer. We're all angry at that. It's a time that I wish we were seeing the mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, who I think delivered one of the most powerful messages that I have seen in years, brought tears to my eyes. This African-American mayor who loves her city and remembers that her city was one that was spared in 1968 after the assassination of Dr. King. And she reminded the people of Atlanta that she is first and foremost not a mayor, but a mom. And it touched me when she talked about her love for her city and how she wanted people to protest. That's fine, but to do it with a sense of responsibility. Harris, a lot of those protesters are white people. They're not black people who are upset about George Floyd. These are just people who are angry, and they're upset about something else, and they are exploiting, and they are a great disservice to the true issue that America ought to talk about. And that's what happened to that man in Minneapolis, or what happened to the young man in Georgia. Those are legitimate things to discuss, and they're being completely moved off the screen. And we're talking about only the bad apples. There's a lot of good apples in this country. I want to see more of them, and not just the scenes of the fires burning, and giving attention to these people who will be empowered by watching themselves do evil things on our streets.